for you at the other end of the ice, Game 7 St. Louis, that goal was scored with 0.9 seconds left or whatever. I wonder what it was like for you at that end to see that unfold in front of your eyes, because you're probably sitting there and Ehlers fans on the shot and you're like, oh my God. I wonder what it was like watching that from your end of the ice.
Yeah, it was a crazy moment. I don't even know if I was watching it. I think I was just kind of praying that it would happen. Once the goal go in, I remember thinking to myself, we got this. I'm not letting one in now.
So Connor, we know you love to fish. Fresh off another summer in Michigan, do you have a greatest fishing story over the last couple of months?
Well, me and my buddy won Angler of the Year for our fishing circuit this year.
Really?
Oh.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we took her. Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Wow.
So what is a greater honor, Angler of the Year, Vezina, or MVP?
I mean, can we just call them all the same?
You can do whatever you want, yes.
No, we know the order, but it still felt pretty cool to win that.
That's pretty amazing, because I bet you that's probably a pretty competitive thing, right?
It was pretty competitive. It wasn't the biggest circuit, so it's not like the highest up there, but you know, just for your local tournaments, it was pretty fun and pretty competitive. Some good fishermen there.
Yeah. So what were you fishing? How big? Like,
We're fishing for bass.
Okay.
Largemouth or smallmouth bass. You can have both, and there's 7 tournaments, all different lakes and different times of the year, and yeah, you got to figure it out. You got to practice for it, and it's kind of like golf. You prep for it, and then you have your tournament at the end of the week, and yeah.
Right.
That's great stuff. So, you know, basically long year last year, great year, successful year in a lot of ways. How did you decompress, and when did you get back on the ice and start looking towards this year?
I got back on the ice, I want to say it was after the 4th of July, and I started working out before that. But I took about a month off to just not think about hockey. Just go do some fishing, have some family time, really just get all the stress off of you and wipe clean, start fresh. And then when I started skating, I started ramping things up, and that's what's so fun for me. I love building my game, and I love the process of getting to where I want to go, and realizing that it's not all going to happen in a day. It's not going to happen in a week. It's the whole season and the whole process of building it every single day. And you don't want to get ahead of yourself. You just want to slowly build it up one piece at a time.
And, you know, how did you feel like now that you head back? Have you started talking to your teams? I mean, you guys had the most incredible start last year. You led the league wire to wire. How do you start building for how to try to do something similar in 2025-26?
Right. So we definitely don't want expectations. We got to go into the new year with the only thought of just putting your best foot forward every single day and letting everything else kind of fall into place. And the start we had last year, we were doing that. We all came in confident, and we all just worried about putting our best foot forward and building our game together. That's exactly what I would want this team to do this year, is start from scratch, exactly like we did last year. Obviously, not complete scratch, build off what we started and grew together last year, but start from scratch just in the terms of let's begin where we kind of began last year. Don't just expect guys know things. Don't expect the team is meshing exactly how it ended last year. No, let's create all that process and then mesh together, continue to mesh together, and build some chemistry and build our game and our systems and every part of it. You can't just expect guys to know it just because we did it last year. When you build, you can't just ever expect guys or a team to be right where they left off last year. It's a process.
So I wonder, because you know, as Elliot mentioned, like you guys wire to wire as the President Trophy front runners. Did it ever get like fatiguing as a group to be that lead dog all year, and as the season wore on, trying to hold that position in where you were in the standings and the opportunity to finish as the best regular season record?
Yeah, I don't think so, because for me and the locker room, I felt like all year we were just worried about making our game good and building it and continuing to grow it and making sure our systems were right. And we didn't really worry about where we were in the standings, the points we were getting, the games that we had ahead. It was all about just building our game, putting our best foot forward every single night. And and just being confident. And that helped us from overthinking, overanalyzing things, and just worried about one day at a time. And honestly, it kept the room really light. We were winning a lot, so which helps, and you could feel the confidence around the room, and that helps a lot too. But it was just one of those years that was just so fun to be part of because the stress levels were low because everyone was confident, and we were all on the same page about just one day at a time, continue to grow our game.
And, you know, I always wondered, for you at the other end of the ice, Game 7, St. Louis, that goal was scored with 0.9 seconds left or whatever. I wonder what it was like for you at that end to see that unfold in front of your eyes, because you're probably sitting there and Ehlers fans on the shot, and you're like, oh my God. And then everything that had to go right for that puck to go in. Like, it's amazing when you go back and watch it, like all the great plays that happened. Falk actually gets his stick kind of on the puck, but it goes right through. I wonder what it was like watching that from your end of the ice.
Yeah, it was a crazy moment. I don't even know if I was watching it. I think I was just kind of praying that it would happen. Once the goal go in, I remember thinking to myself, "We got this. I'm not letting one in now." So that was one of those feel-good moments. Yeah, I don't know how many you get in playoffs, but a feel-good moment where you knew you weren't going to let anyone down after that.
Wow.
That's really something.
Wow.
What were your takeaways from Four Nations and being in that environment? Like, we had Jack Hughes here yesterday, and he was talking about how fascinating it was from his perspective of like just that dressing room full of alphas and the energy that created in the U.S. locker room. What was it like for you being part of that?
Yeah, that was a really cool experience. You realized there's no shifts off, and you're playing with a bunch of guys that know how to bring their best game every single night, and that's what I felt. And not only that, but in practice, I felt you could feel that they were practicing at their highest level, and not only that, they're managing their games and managing their off ice. It's like so dialed in, and it was exciting to be part of that because the game almost got easier for me. It was probably faster and fast paced around me, but when everyone's where you expect them, it actually slows it down from my perspective.
I understand.
Yeah, which was perfect because that's one of my strengths is knowing what's going on and seeing what's going to develop around me. So when I had a bunch of guys that were exactly where I would expect them to be every single time, it made my life a lot easier.
That was one thing that really stood out to me about that tournament was I remember thinking, like, if you're a young player and you want to be the best of the best in the NHL, every single one of those players was committed. Like, we all know they can all score and they can all pass the puck and they can all shoot it. But every single guy in that final was determined to play defense, was determined to back check, was determined to be positionally sound. Like, that was the thing that stood out to me for that tournament, was not only was a great tournament, but everybody in that ice was committed to being the best two-way player they could be. It was amazing.
Yeah, the buy-in was huge, and that's what I didn't really know going into that, because it's not the Olympics. It definitely had the feel of the Olympics, but it wasn't the actual Olympics. You don't know mid-season, you don't know how serious guys are going to take it. And then the second I got there and I got in that locker room, I could tell everyone's going to be just as serious as I wanted to take it. So that was really, really one of those moments where you start to build some excitement because now everyone's in it as much as you want it. And those are the moments in hockey where it's fun because everyone around you is just raising the level of the game.
You were such a student of your position, and I was going back at just what you had said at the end of the season about you learn like you can't over tweak things. For somebody, like myself included, that doesn't know the goaltender position nearly as well, like what does that look like? What did you mean by that?
Well, I've been building my game for the last 10 years a certain way, and I've got it really dialed in. And when I'm reading the game around me, I expect to be in certain spots at certain times in certain positions when that puck is moving in certain areas. And that's what's helped me be ahead of it at all times. I know where I'm going to be, and I know my next move before I even need to make it. So that was where I was analyzing my game of trying to be statistically perfect, which in playoffs, it really doesn't matter how much you lose by. You have one blow-up game, and it's the same loss as losing by 1. It just kills your stats and makes everyone think you're playing bad, but you're really not. It's just one bad game. It's just going to affect the outlook of the stats, but doesn't affect the outlook of a series. But that being said, the tweaking, I was putting myself in a little more of an aggressive state, and it was kind of affecting my next move off of that. It didn't really cost me a whole lot. It might have cost me a goal. It didn't cost me a game, but that's when I realized when I watched it on video, and that's where I was talking about the over tweaking, is because I watched it on video. I was like, that's not where I want to be. That's not going to give me the best chance at success. So that's where you got to be careful. You just got to, in those moments, you just got to trust your game and just play and just have fun.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, it was interesting because I was talking to somebody and they said, like, in a playoff series, like as a goalie, you can't stress about what your save percentage is or your GAA because a team's dissecting you for potentially 7 games to try to pick apart spots where they can beat you. Like, you've just got to be able as a goaltender to adapt. Like, I wonder if you agree with that, if that resonates at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's an adaptability part of it because the systems are just going to kind of start to mesh, and everyone's trying to break down the other team system. So the little tweaks your team makes, and that's going to change the way things open up in front of you. That being said, I think you can't overthink it. I mean, I've learned this over a couple of years now. You just got to play and trust the game you've built for 82 games. It's still another hockey game. Just because it's playoffs and every goal feels like 10 doesn't mean it changes the game of hockey. It really doesn't. I mean, the pace might pick up a little bit and guys care more, but control what you can control and just worry about what you've built for 82 games and bring that every single night.
That's what's going to, my follow-up was going to be is the mental game. You've talked a lot about that, about how sometimes your biggest opponent is sometimes between your own ears. And is there anything that you learned about yourself over the last year, you worked on this summer to continue to make sure that you win that battle?
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked to think my mental game has been one of the strongest parts of what makes me me. But I mean, there was just so much going on last year and so much noise that I hadn't experienced before. I hadn't experienced being under that much of a spotlight. So I mean, that was a good learning experience for me, and it helped me learn what it's going to take to just be in my own bubble, get in my own bubble. Don't overthink it. Trust your game. I mean, it's proven itself to this point, and just keep bringing that every single night and bringing your best foot forward. Don't worry about everything else that's going on around you.
Excellent.
We were just in Winnipeg last week for an event, and like I don't get to your town a ton during the season, but every time I do, it's just a great reminder of how much the Jets mean to that community there. How do you feel about your group heading into a new year?
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. I think our team's gonna be great, and I think our fan base loves us. I really felt my fan base at the end of last year in the playoffs and the chance they were doing, and it just made me feel so much more connected to the city. And it's one of those things where you just build those over years, and you have all that experience, and they still shock you in moments. You know, they still make you realize that what we're doing means a lot, and it's bigger than just a game. That we're really bringing a community together, and really makes you excited to be part of it.